PHNX Suns Pregame Show presented by BetMGM. I'm Lindsay. That's Saul. That's Espo. And tonight the Phoenix Suns will be taking on the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul's return, you guys. How you feeling?
Oh, the point guard is back, but the Slim Valley Reaper's here to take care of him.
I'm not going religious on this one. So, I mean, hey, I hope they give him a standing ovation. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He contributed a lot to this franchise in a short time that he was here. He was a great role model for this franchise. He did everything that you could ever ask him to do. His only knock is the fact that he couldn't stay healthy in the playoffs. That's it. Other than that, he was what you hoped for and more for this franchise.
Yeah, to use a Lindsay term, you definitely got to give him his flowers. At that point where he came here, he said, I want to be in Phoenix, was the point where the dark days officially ended. It was a sign to the national media, other players who may not have considered it, that Phoenix was open for business again. And however you feel about his health or what went on in the playoff runs, without that moment, you're not sitting here where you are. And so Chris Paul deserves a lot of credit for that. Whether he makes it in the Ring of Honor or not, he should always have our respect for what he was able to do. But tonight, I'm going to be annoyed by his bullshit that he pulls on the court because he's not wearing a Suns uniform.
Of course. Like, that went out the door the minute he left our team. It was like, okay, now we're back to hating the Chris Paul shenanigans.
Yeah.
That we loved for so long.
The shit that Gerald and I would be like, he always does one or two things a game that we just laugh at. Now I'm like, now he always does one or two things that I fucking hate.
First rip through he has on Jordan Goodwin, I'm going to be so damn pissed off.
Yeah, I know. Jake said, first time I've been able to make it to a show live to participate in the chat. Hello, PHNX crew. What's up, Jake?
Jakey. Let's
Welcome,
go.
Guys, say hi to Jake in the chat. I feel like the consensus overall for Chris Paul's return is far friendlier than it was last night.
Oh, yeah.
As well it should be.
I mean,
if anybody boos, I'll be shocked. Like,
if anybody boos, they're just an asshole.
Well, yeah,
they're just haters.
And I wasn't even the biggest Chris Paul guy, but I could absolutely respect what he did for this franchise. Like, how can you not?
Yeah, he gave us one of the, two of the more memorable seasons, one of the most memorable playoff runs we've ever experienced. Probably the most memorable for those of us that weren't alive for the 75-76 run that was improbable, and then the 64-win season. If you take out the playoffs, I mean the regular season was unbelievable with that. When they play that tribute video today, standing ovation is well deserved. And then you can get pissed off when he does other things, but give him the due he deserves. I have a theory about these videos, these tribute videos. Yeah. I think the length of the tribute video should be determined by your impact on the franchise. So, like, last night should have been 10 seconds, and this one should have been 2 minutes. Tumani's could have been a half a second. Like, you just, depending on what you did, that's the length of it, right? Like,
now you're doing too much.
Still photo if you just showed up once on the roster. Like, that's what
Tell me you're an asshole without telling me you're an asshole.
You're doing too much.
I'm an asshole. I'll tell you. There you
go. Amelia said in the chat, definitely he does deserve for teaching book 2. Like, he deserves some credit for teaching book 2.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Chris Paul probably shared a lot of information and a lot of knowledge with book. That was really helpful for him.
Well, when you think about it, he was the first real vet that could do that with him that he had.
Longer term anyway.
Well, and since, first couple of years, you had Tyson Chandler and PJ Tucker, but then you want to span where he didn't really have that. You could say maybe Ricky Rubio a little bit, but Ricky Rubio obviously does not have the gravitas that CP3 did as a veteran, and I think he helped Book take that next step.
Remember when people were clamoring for Ricky Rubio to come help us even when Chris Paul was here?
I mean, listen.
Oh, my God.
Ricky Rubio would have been great as a backup point guard.
Oh, my God.
And Ricky Rubio is what I feel like really opened that door for other players. Not that Book wasn't already getting love and respect from players around the league, but he kind of opened the door and really showed the rest of the world what Book was capable of with somebody serviceable next to him.
Yeah, he said, look, sub 500 basketball.
He still helped. He did. But Chris Paul will make his return tonight, and Steve Kerr, before tonight's game, had some things to say about CP3 and that he was glad that we lost to Dallas in the playoffs so that they didn't have to play us.
Yeah, I mean, they had put together a pretty good group before Chris got here. You know, they had some really talented players, but they needed somebody to tie it together. And as soon as Chris arrived, it was immediately tied together. So they had a great run. Obviously, we're 2 wins away from a title, but you know, getting that far and watching that team play, they were so well built. You know what Monty and James did in terms of putting the roster together and then putting a system in place that took advantage of all that talent. It was beautiful to watch. So they were tough. They gave us a lot of problems, and you know, I'll be perfectly honest, I was happy when they lost to Dallas that year. That was you know, they had beaten us that year a couple times, and you know, they were tough matchups. So yeah, it was they had a great run with Chris here.
Yeah, because he knew they were going to run through Dallas like a fucking freight train.
Yeah, we talk about shade. That feels like ultimate Luka
that
shade.
was fucking shade.
We didn't fear Luka one bit.
They're like,
But
as soon as they won, we knew, we got that.
He was like, hey, thanks for taking one for the team. It was the wrong team, but we benefited from it. So shout out to you guys. I know, just sprinkle in a little bit of like bringing us back down to earth. He's like, I give him a little too much praise there for a minute. Let me course correct here for a second. But yeah, so Chris Paul is a part of the Warriors. They've been figuring it out. Obviously, tonight things will look a little bit different as far as the Warriors squad that we're going to see because of some injuries / suspension. So let's take a look at the injury report on the Suns side. Yuta Watanabe is still out with that left quad contusion. Of course, Bradley Beal is out with the low back strain. Gary Payton II was questionable coming into tonight's game with a left foot strain. And Draymond Green is out for league suspension. I know we haven't talked about it on this program. I know, Saul, you talked about it with EJ on Outside Shots, but Draymond Green, his shenanigans used to be kind of like a fun, lovable, like you're just kind of a punk, but we love you for it. And have quickly turned a hard left corner, and it's like now it's not even cute anymore. It's just annoying.
Also, real quick, the Suns also listed Jordan Goodwin with a jaw contusion, whatever that means.
Well, that's what
he's
had.
available, right?
Yeah, he's still available.
Yeah,
I'm just saying they listed him. So
yeah, that's what he's had with that. Why he's wearing the mask, which still makes 0 sense since it doesn't protect the jaw.
Yeah. But in regards to Draymond, I think everybody's kind of sick of it. They're sick of the antics. They're sick of the, you know, you want to say that he's playing with passion, but he's not really playing with passion when he plays stupid like that.
Yeah.
And that was just so unnecessary to go and grab Rudy Gobert around the neck like that. That was a calculated attack on somebody that he just had extreme beef with. He saw his opportunity. He took it. And it's stupid.
I don't know. It's quite a pickle for basketball fans because you love Draymond Green for some of the things he does, but then, like this, he takes it too far. But then, did you see the stat? He's been thrown out of like 7 games that Steph Curry wasn't playing, and it's like
90% of the games that Steph Curry is not playing in, Draymond Green has been ejected.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it feels like he's going, I don't really want to have to carry this load at all, so I'm going to see myself out as well. So, look, I think he probably deserved more of a suspension. I don't remember. It may have been the 6 trophies, podcast with Shea Serrano that I was listening to, but one of them suggested Gobert should have just went limp and acted like he had passed out, and Draymond would have been suspended for like 30 games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because
that would have been wild.
I mean, but it's
Gobert was just like,
yeah, but also Rudy Gobert would have gotten ripped to shreds even more than he already did for some BS that he wasn't even a part of.
Yeah,
but he got ripped to shreds anyway, so it didn't even matter. You might as well just go ahead and be like, well, if I'm going to get ripped, I'm going to tear this dude down.
Yeah, I'm going to take out a guy that's part of a team that could be in my way. I'm just gonna go, hey, you gone for 30 games because I'm just gonna act like I passed out.
Yep.
It was a punk move. There's no doubt about that, and it benefits us because we don't have to see him tonight.
It does. I mean, shout out to you, Draymond, for that part. You're definitely not helping your team, but you're helping us a little bit potentially.
Buddha Schizo said, forget that. Did you see when he took his kid to the woods to face the wolves and the grizzlies?
No.
Yeah, I saw that commercial.
Yeah, but it's kind of annoying. And the worst part of it too, and I know a lot of people brought this up on social media and stuff. It's like, okay, so the NBA is going to, give guys techs for being a little extra after a hard foul or after a dunk or whatever it may be. They're so focused on that type of stuff, but this seems to sometimes get a little bit of a pass or a slap on the wrist, if you will, when it comes to what exactly the punishment is that is given out. And it's like that makes the NBA look worse than guys saying a bad word because they don't agree with your call, or guys clapping at somebody or taunting them or whatever you want to call it. Like, that's a part of natural competition. Putting some guy in a headlock or punching somebody without being in that situation is not. Yeah. And that makes the league look bad.
1,000,000%. Like, Jokic missed a half a game.
Yeah.
Because the whole second half of the game against Detroit, because he was unhappy that the officials weren't calling some blatant fouls against him. And so is that, relatively speaking, compared to Draymond, equal? Or, it's not. Like,
his punishment for that was 1/10 of what freaking Draymond got. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's not calculated. It wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't, I'm going to take my opportunity to go try and rip the official. It was, hey, I don't like the way this is getting called. These guys are hacking me, pushing me in the back, slapping my arm, like, call something. I'm upset. And, okay, you get to miss half a game. Meanwhile, Draymond goes and chokes somebody out. 5. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think if there's one critique of Adam Silver's time as a commissioner, it's this. It's the inconsistency in punishment for certain things. I mean, as much as, whatever you want to say about DA, he got suspended for 25 games for a masking agent. And Draymond, a multiple-time offender, this isn't the first time he did something like this, gets 5 games for what, somebody could, pursue you for assault charges if you did that on the street. Like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you could even go down the rabbit hole and start poking and prodding at some of the other suspensions and quote unquote games served and all that shenanigans. And it's even worse, but we won't go there. So as far as who's starting tonight for the Suns, they're rolling with the same squad. So they've got Devin Booker out there, Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon, Kevin Durant, and Yusuf Nurkic. I saw last game, a lot of people were asking if maybe it would be smarter to put Eric Gordon back in that 6-man role, have him coming off the bench, and put KBD in the starting lineup in place of him. Would you guys be interested in seeing that?
It's tough because since Book came back and they've been running this lineup, they've got the best offense in the NBA. I get the defensive argument, but it's tough because when you're seeing the results, do you change it just because you're like, well, maybe it could be better? Well, you're at the peak offensively. I say don't mess with it until something actually forces you to mess with it at this point.
I really don't give a shit who starts. I don't care. I have zero interest in who starts. As long as it's the main guys, I don't care who else is filling this spot. They can rotate them all out game after game after game. I just don't care. I just want to see them play at a high level. And so far, the last 4 games they have.
Okay, that's fair. How are you guys feeling about tonight's game and the matchup against the Warriors?
I'm wearing the purple pants, so they're going to win. That's how I feel. I say it's only by 1, but so I'm not feeling real confident, but we'll win nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like that. It's the back of the tail end of a back-to-back. It's against the Warriors, who got a day's rest. I'm not feeling so hot about this game. I think the Suns are going to win, but I'm not overly confident that they'll win. So that's why I picked by 1.
Mostly because of the back-to-back, or
yeah, strictly because of the back-to-back.
Okay.
Back-to-back, and this matchup with Book, usually Clay gets fired up for, and if something may shake his slump, it might be getting up to play against Devin Booker.
It
But also
might be.
Booker gets pumped up to play
Yeah, I
against
know.
Clay. So.
I know, but Clay, the reason they've been losing is Clay has played like dog doo-doo. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I kind of low-key feel bad for Clay. Like that post-game sound that went a little bit viral on NBA Twitter of him being like, man, I don't know, I've scored more than that in a quarter in my career. Like,
Man.
as much as I am not like a Warriors fan by any means, don't get me wrong, Clay has always been an easy guy to root for. He's always had, other than the whole kerfuffle with Book last year was the only thing that I was like, ew, I didn't like that. But he's always been friendly and seemingly like good spirits, fun-loving kind of guy. So I do feel a little bad.
But
for
even
that.
Clay had talked about how he overreacted in that moment.
Agreed.
So
The way that he responded when he was asked about it later was admirable as well. So I do feel a little bit bad for him.
I think that last year spoke more to how much Book can be an irritant than Clay himself, honestly.
I agree.
I actually think it's more Clay realizing that he's not where he used to be and seeing Booker kind of take the mantle as the best 2 guard in the league.
Yeah.
It's a little bothersome for him.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Steph? Is Grayson Allen going to be our guy tonight?
I mean, nobody can guard Steph.
But will he take the main brunt of that load, you think?
I mean,
I think he's going to start that way. I mean,
I think you're going to throw Goodwin, Okogie, and then maybe Grayson Allen at him. Grayson's a little he's a little too slow for Steph. I don't think he's quite the guy to do it. Steph is just so crafty coming off screens. He's so quick with the ball. Like that's why Steph is Steph. Like I don't think Grayson Allen's going to be the guy. And I think we'll find that out in the first 5 minutes.
All right. Well, Espo, what are the guys wearing in this one?
I'll tell you in a second when Eric puts up the graphic. They're wearing the White Association edition. And what the? I hate these Warriors.
Okay.
Every time
I
you
have
hate a
beef
jersey,
with you
I love
because
these.
You hated Utah City edition, which was almost identical, except for it was more of a neon yellow than this yellow. So what's your beef with this one?
It looks like whoever put the letters on this was drunk. It's not the coloring, it's the wave in the San Francisco and the fact that sand is running into the armpit.
It's the Bay Area, so
I
you have the
understand
waves.
why it's that way. It just looks stupid.
It's such a okay. I just disagree with you.
I just love. Okay, you know what I love about this whole thing? When we started this, Saul was like, "I don't care about uniforms." Now I
Now
get into
you care.
argue.
No,
it, so-
it's more of like you have such a visceral reaction to this that I'm like, why?
Because
Why?
I
It's
love
not
uniforms.
it's not a bad jersey.
It's a terrible uniform.
No,
It is.
Your
awful.
shoes are terrible. Stop.
Oh,
This is the man who wore pink shoes the other day. I'm
What's
not,
wrong with pink shoes?
I don't like them. What's wrong with orange shoes?
I
The
got
chat-
comments in the
the
chat
chat-
about my
the
shoes.
people
I can't
talk about
confirm
my
he-
shoes always.
He did get comments about shoes
And
in his chats,
people
but
always
Espo
comment on
also
these.
gets comments
Yeah,
about his
Just because
shoes.
of the color, not the style.
I don't
You
know.
hate on a man.
I personally like the Utah color scheme more than I like this Golden State one. Like, give me the highlighter, bright neon color over like this yellow any day.
I don't care what color combination. If your letters look like that, I'm gonna tell you your jersey's trash.
Well, whatever, Espo.
I guarantee you, there's a jersey out there that has kind of curved lettering
he would
that he
like.
does like.
100%.
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Not like that. It's
I
a
guarantee
freaking
you.
wave.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you, Saul. Espo, would you like to turn things around and find a positive in tonight's game and
Nope.
hand out a Yeasty Boy award?
Nope. Screw everybody. No, I do have somebody, and I'm gonna go in here because I don't want to screw up the name because I always do when I'm going through it. It is Big 12 Devils. He's gonna be my
Ooh, okay.
Yeasty Boy of the game. in part because he was giving Eric crap about the plus minus in the Discord. And anybody that gives Eric a little crap about trolling me gets my yeasty boy of the game. You're going to get a free loaf of hero bread. All you got to do is DM me your details in the Discord, and we'll get that sent out to you.
Yeah, and if you didn't win our Yeasty Boy of the game, you can still pick up some Hero Bread right now. Hero Bread is offering listeners 10% off their first order. Just go to hero.co and use code PHNX to save on Hero Bread today. That is hero.co to save 10% with code PHNX. So what you're telling me here is that you can be bought.
Me? Yeah, that's never been a question.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page here. That we're all working with the same numbers. That's
Yes.
all.
You could buy me into liking that jersey too.
Don't say numbers.
There's price. There's always a price for everything.
Gotcha. Speaking of numbers, what do our friends over at the BetMGM Sportsbook think about tonight's game?
A 2.5 point favorite for the Suns. Usually the home team gets 2, so they're not all that confident in the Suns win either.
Okay. And what are you guys putting your money on?
I have zero confidence. Oh, go ahead, Espo. You're right.
Can give people seizures. That's what
He pulled it up without hesitation. So.
I called in a ringer tonight.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I've been hurting bad. So our friend, Shane Diefenbach, the mustache behind the Mac, was in the office today. I said, give me a winner. And he said, well, that's not what I took. So.
Yeah, it is.
That is what you took.
100% what you took.
Oh, no. Okay, I misread that. It is what I took. Grayson Allen, total points, rebounds, and assists over 16.5 tonight at a minus 115. That is, in fact, what the mustache behind the Mac gave me. So I'm going simple tonight in hopes that I can at least get a W.
So you let somebody else make your bets? That's cool. All right. I'm a grown man. I can do my own job. So I'm taking the first point. I'm actually stealing your shit.
Wait.
I'm a grown man. I can do my own job.
I can do my
I'll
own
steal your
job by
idea.
stealing your homework.
I'm stealing it. I didn't ask you
your
what my
homework.
bet is. I didn't ask you to make my bet for me.
It's the
So-
same thing.
No, it isn't. No,
Yep.
it isn't. I'm taking 17.5 because I know this is going to hit because Espo didn't bet on it.
Yeah, now it's not going to hit. You know? Copy the homework. Oh, I didn't copy it. I changed one little thing.
Just make sure you change it enough so we don't get caught.
I changed it from a C to an A is what I'm about to do.
Yeah, we know what A stands for. Anyway,
All
let's
right,
go.
What am I doing tonight? Tonight I'm taking Kevin Durant for the Suns' first field goal of the game, plus 250.
It's only plus 250,
But
on
it's
a
just for the
first field goal?
Suns, not as a total.
Oh, I
as a whole.
gotcha.
So if Golden State scores before the Suns
Doesn't
do,
matter.
it
Doesn't
still
matter.
could count as long as
Gotcha.
KD scores first for the Suns.
Gotcha.
And then Flex didn't get his bet in on time. So the default is if you are not on the show and you didn't get your bet in by a certain time, you take the Suns money line, which honestly is not terrible for him. Minus 140. It could be way worse. If it was like Portland and it's a minus 800,
So
you're making a whole whopping 8 cents.
I don't think you and I can make a face at this because if we had went money line Suns all year, we'd be in a better spot
You
than
probably
we are.
would, honestly.
That's probably true.
Major fact.
We'd be
Everybody
like
who
plus
is
20 right now.
asking where Flex is visiting family. He'll be back soon. Don't you worry. But let's look at the leaderboard. We all took L's last night, so it's a little bit worse than it was at the start of yesterday. Saul is minus 65. Espo minus 97.50. Flex is minus 22.55, and I've got $51.09
Yeah,
to my name.
look at this. I looked at it and I went, I can't go sub 100.
Ooh.
So
I have a question about the 17 and a half seconds. I was wondering this the other night. Is it when the shot is released or is it when the shot goes in?
when the shot goes in.
Really?
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
That's kind of crap though. If it was if it was at
figure?
if it was at the buzzer, like if there was only 17 and a half seconds left, right? And they got the shot off, would it still count? Yes. So why wouldn't it be on the release instead of like what if it bounces around for fucking 5 seconds but it still goes in? That's not fair.
Well, but where's the clock stop in that case?
I'm just saying, like,
if
it
they
should be
call
the
the
release,
timeout.
right?
No.
I don't know how DraftKings or I don't know how a BetMGM guards it or judges it.
I
I
think
have
Bet-
no idea.
BetMGM probably judges it in whatever would be in their favor, which would be when it goes in because it eats up seconds. So.
Yeah.
Espo, you're down so bad. Emma's in the chat. You brought Emma back.
OMG.
Nah, Emma came back because I've been saying, hey, I need somebody watching over Eric's numbers. So.
Damn.
Hey, watch your own numbers over there.
Yeah,
Negative 97.
I feel like you need to be worried about your numbers a little bit more.
To be
than
fair,
right now.
I'm not going to. I love you, Emma.
To be fair, if you'd like to get in on the action and put some money down, you can download the BetMGM Sportsbook app and use bonus code PHNX. When you use that code, you can place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10, and you will receive $200 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. So this is a real good one. If you've been struggling this year, like the rest of us, you sign up for BetMGM with that code PHNX, they're going to hook you up no matter what. You can check out the show notes for full details, and now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
And of course, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, check out our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. If you have not heard about their $1 million Big Red Showdown, you absolutely should get in the know. You sign up, you stay in the game, and you get rewarded. It is that easy. Play fun, free games online for a chance to win $1 million cash. Visit GilaMillionDollarShowdown.com to get in on the action. For more information on Gila River Resorts and Casinos and all they have to offer, head to playatgila.com.
And if you need an excuse to head out there, we're going to have our Cardinals watch along there on Sunday.
Watch party.
Head out there, check it out. It's a fun time. Great time up there in the swing suite. Yeah. So head on out.
They got some really good food and drinks as well. All right, so we're going to round out with this thing that we saw on Twitter just before the show started. Gregg Popovich decided he was going to grab the mic in the arena because the crowd was booing Kawhi Leonard while he was shooting a free throw, and he told them to cut it out. He said, that's not who we are. Stop booing these players. Let them play basketball. What do you guys think?
I thought it was amazing. Look, I didn't like Pop originally when they were beating the Suns, but over the years I've grown very fond of Gregg Popovich, his approach to the game, his approach to coaching. And I love this because that was their guy. This was Pop's guy. He obviously feels a certain way when it comes to Kawhi, and he's also in that give no F's mode. Like it's age. He's got FU money, so he went out there and said, you know what? I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and he did it in the middle of the game, and I applaud him for it.
I have zero problem with it. Hey, if you don't like it, and listen, Pop can pull that. You know what I mean? Like,
not a lot of people can
like
pull that
a
off.
rookie coach could never grab the mic and be like, everybody stop. Everybody would be like, shut the fuck up.
Could you imagine if Monty had done it and he was just like, we don't get happy on the farm and we don't boo our own. Like, he just has all these sayings that he just says to the crowd. Gregg Popovich was just like, stop with the bullshit. All right.
Yeah. Now they did get louder after that.
They did.
So, but that's, it is what it is. Also, real quick, can we go to Eli's comment? Mm-hmm. Eli said, so who else is taking a pre-Thanksgiving dinner OG's walk tomorrow? Yes.
Cousin walk. You don't have to be cousins, but that's the thing.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, exactly. But you should check out our friends over at OG's if you are not already prepared and stocked up for that. So, okay. Well, any final thoughts? Let's go watch this game then. Bye, guys. We'll see you back here after this one wraps up.
We all silly like the mayor.